too much for me because it let me feel, sometimes when I get up in the morning, as I get up, I have to smoke a cigarette. And when I smoke it, it let me feel weak. And I try everything. I try to patch everything that anybody say I try. And I never stop smoking. I smoked for 25 years. I have shorter breaths, climbing up stairs, or as I tell you, when I smoke, sometimes I feel weak. My body I'll be feeling okay, and as I light the cigarette, I just feel weak because of stress, because if there's a problem, I just start to smoke. I just keep smoking. I smoke sometimes 10 for a day. You know, I'd smoke 10 for a day. Sometimes, if the problem is more, I will smoke more. I spend a lot of money buying cigarettes. Sometimes I even borrow money to buy cigarettes. You understand? So it was really hard. As I finish eat, I have to light a cigarette. I wake in the morning, I have to light a cigarette. You know, I go into work, I can smoke at my workplace. Sometimes I'm even late because of smoking. I have to stop on the street and smoke probably 2 cigarettes before I go in. I feel hungry, like if I know you have a cigarette and I ask you to, like you have a pack and I say, give me one, and I feel hungry with you, and I have to get a cigarette. Like I would have to go outside, get a cigarette, buy one or get one to smoke, to calm me down. The worst part is when I just come to America and I didn't have any money, and I remember I went out the street and I stand up there and I didn't have the money to buy a cigarette, and I stand up there and this gentleman was passing. I asked him, could you give me a cigarette, please? And he said, no, we don't have any. I felt so ashamed, you know, to know that. That was the worst part, I know, by going to ask for a cigarette. Well, I see it on the TV. I saw the program on the TV, and I call, and they pray for me, and then they give me the nearest church to me. And I went there, I walked with my husband one day, and I found a church, and we went in. I made a chain of prayer. Well, I started to feel anxiety to come to church. You know, even if I go to work and, you know, I work in Manhattan, and when I come home, I'm so tired. And when I get home, it's like a voice saying, no, you have to go to church. No care how tired you are, you have to go to church. And when I go to church and reach there, I feel different. The tiredness gone, I feel free, I feel different in church. And I just continue going to church, and I draw my husband behind me to go to church too, and he's going to church with me too. In my life, we used to have, me and my husband, we used to have a little fuss every minute, and now I notice things is going better. We're not fussing that much, you know, and he's coming to church, and I try to tell him that he must take more positive in life, and I see where he's praying now with me, and it's better. It's much better in my life. I'm free from the cigarette. I smell it, I see it, and I don't want it. I don't even remember cigarette if I don't see one. You know, I don't remember it. Sometimes I say to myself, oh my God, I really stopped smoke. I see cigarette and it don't even do anything. I smell it and I don't feel anyway. I started to go to the church when I went to the church, and we call it New Year's Day. I went to church to make a New Year's resolution. And I never stop. And I go to the Universal Church, and I said, well, I'm going to stop this time. I really never stop the same time. But afterward, I just get up one day and say, why go to church and then come home and smoke? And from that, I just stopped. I come into the church about 3 weeks. 3 weeks before I stopped smoking. For 25 years I've been smoking, and from coming to the church, for Universal Church, for 3 weeks, I stopped smoking.